Hi everyone, my name is Jill Ron and this is my daughter Hannah.
Hi.
And we are going to make some videos for you as we are making dinner and showing you how to make some quick, really quick, and healthy meals. And so today we are going to make a chicken with pesto and broccoli pasta. I guess I forgot the pasta. So it's a lot of peas in there. Penne, pasta, pesto, broccoli, chicken. All right, so we're going to use the Smart multi-cooker. So that's this piece right here. It does have some other pieces I'll pull up in a minute. This is super versatile. So one of the things we can do is you can just use this as a pasta maker. So you can cook your bow tie, your macaroni, your spaghetti, just obviously break it in half so it'll fit, and put water in it, throw it in the microwave for 13 to 15 minutes. Pretty much the same amount of time you would boil it on the stove, except that you don't have to wait for the water to boil. So the total time is cut because you don't have to wait for water to boil. Put it in your microwave, and then when you take it out, it's all done. And the nice thing is you also didn't have to watch it. It's not going to, it's not going to spill over. I might drop it, but it's not going to spill over. Okay, and then when you go to drain it, and you want to drain the water, just grab this other piece that fits exactly on here. You're going to hold it over the sink and you can just drain your water out, and then your pasta's right there. You can mix whatever sauce and it's all ready to go. Kind of less dishes, a one pot type thing. What we're going to, one other thing you can do before I tell you what we're going to do today is this is also your rice maker. So you can put up to 5 cups of rice in here with the water, and then you're going to set this piece in here. Thank you, Hannah. You'll put that on there, and then you put the cover on as well. And then you just, I have to put it on the table to push it down. And then you push it down, and then this whole thing goes in the microwave. As it boils over a little bit, it just goes in here in this little, I don't know, it's not a tunnel, whatever. It goes in there so that the little dish. So then the water will go back in through these holes, doesn't go all over your microwave. You get perfect rice every single time. And again, just a one pot thing to clean up. So what we're going to do today is a little bit more of using the other piece. This is the steamer piece. So this is actually metal, and it's covered in plastic because you know you can't put metal in your microwave. But because it's encapsulated in the Tupperware plastic, it is safe. And so we just put that into here. The bottom piece is just plastic, so that's where you're going to put your water. And then you put your food in here. And then if you cover it with this, which again is the metal, then the microwaves cannot get into the metal, so it just bounces off, bounces off, bounces off. The only part it can get in is this bottom piece that is just the Tupperware where that water is. So the microwaves are heating up the water, and then your food is purely getting steamed, and it's not getting microwaved at all. So it's a pure steam. You can do your salmon, lots of different kinds of fish, lots of vegetables, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to do it, though, as the multi-cooker today. Again, it'll be steamed. But we're going to put some pasta here on the bottom. So I just like to take some penne. So we're going to take some penne pasta. And then, Hannah, do you want to tilt the camera a little bit so that we can see? So I don't have to lift it all up. Okay. So we're just going to, do you see how there's that little line right there? We're going to just pour the pasta. That was loud. We're going to pour the pasta, yay, about so much. I would say half a bag if you have the 1 pound bag of pasta. Pour some water to that line to cover it up. I think we could use some more pasta. Because this is dinner. This will be feeding 4 people. And I just like to make sure that it all gets covered and it's wet. And then the only time you can ever salt your pasta is at this point before it cooks for it to stick. And then we're going to take the next level. And we are going to put the chicken in here. I'm going to take a different spatula to touch raw chicken. That's why I chose 2 different colors. These silicone spatulas, you'll see later, we actually use them on the stove as well. They don't melt. Love these. So while I season this, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Hannah? Oh, here, we can tip this up so you can see.
Okay, here, I can sit in the chair.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, hi, so I am a sophomore at NAU, which is Northern Arizona University, and, well, actually, I just finished up my sophomore year, so now I'm going to my junior year. I'm studying psychology and also health and wellness coaching. And I'm actually a health coach on campus through an organization. It's called UCAN Health Coaching, which stands for University Coaching for Activity and Nutrition. So a little bit about that, I'm actually going to start offering my own services for health coaching. So it'll start out with $25 for an initial session for 45 minutes. And then a follow-up session will be $35. Or you can get a 6-session bundle, 45 minutes each, and those will all be $30 each. I'm also going to be starting a blog, so we'll put a link for that at the Facebook page. And that's also where you can book some appointments.
Thank you, Hannah. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Okay. All right. So all I did is, if we turn this down, all I did was add the chicken. So remember the pasta's down there? I did the chicken, season it however you want. I'm going to add this other tray so that I can add some broccoli. And, oh my goodness, I just introduced another piece of Tupperware to you. I don't know if you have the fridge smarts. I know Hannah has them in her dorm room.
Move it over.
Oh, there you go. And so the fridge smart containers, I actually brought in a few more pieces as well to show you. These are actually pieces that save you money. So when you buy your produce and you're like, oh my gosh, we're going to eat so healthy this week, and you buy all this produce and it's on sale and whatever, you throw it in your refrigerator when you get home. 3 or 4 days later, you're like, oh yeah, I was going to eat healthy this week. And you go in and it's mushy or it's nasty or there's mold on it, right? And it's just gross. And you're like, I just wasted all this money. But instead, if you come home and you put all your produce in these containers, these keep your produce fresher 3 to 5 times longer. So as an example, you're like, well, I don't know. What does that mean? My broccoli can stay in here for about 4 weeks and it will still look exactly like it does here. I can do strawberries from the stand and they'll last a good 2.5 weeks.
Let me see this.
What do you use for that one?
Okay. Well, this is the one that I have in my dorm room and I put everything in it. And what I like is that it shows little pictures of vegetables and then also tells you like which setting to put it on. So there's a setting up here and it has like an open circle filled in, an open circle that's empty, and then one that's like half and half. And so based on the setting, and like what vegetable or fruit you have in there, that's what you put it at, and it'll help keep it fresh.
There you go. What are those settings doing? It's allowing it tells how much air is getting in. So your carrots, your celery, oh my gosh, I can keep celery in there for 4 weeks and it'll snap crunch. It doesn't kind of do the hula. So it's I love these things. Hula, don't mock me. That's what children do, is they mock you. Okay, so all we're going to do now is we have the 3 pieces. And look, do you see how the top, like I put way too much broccoli in there and it isn't really covering on there? It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll go down as it starts to cook and it's fine. So we're just going to put this whole thing in the microwave for 15 minutes. And while it's cooking, we are going to make the homemade pesto sauce. So we will be right back. Right, so now we're going to make the pesto sauce. So this is the chop and prep. And this is really fun. So show them, there you go. So you kind of pull it like a lawnmower, boom, boom, right? And so every time you pull it, the blade spins 9 times. And because there's 3 blades, 9 times 3, 27 cuts are made every time you whoosh, like that. So this is the little one. There is a big one as well that the little lawnmower motor fits on. So for bigger projects, this is called the, don't know. That's the chop and prep.
The bigger
Power Chef. Ha! Oh. This is called the Power Chef. Woo! All right, so we're going to add everything, all the ingredients to the chop and prep, few pulls, and then we will have our homemade pesto sauce. Even if you don't like pesto sauce, I've had a lot of people say, oh, I'm not a pesto fan. And when they have the homemade, they're like, oh my gosh, that is so good. It's so different when you're using fresh basil and fresh ingredients versus, a store-bought jar. So the ingredients are 3/4 of a cup of basil leaves. So Hannah, if you want to just start throwing some basil leaves in there. And then it says 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So this was my shaker from before, but you can always just take the lid off and just put the salt in. And then we'll take the pepper, 1/8 teaspoon. I'm happy to post this recipe for you. You don't need to be trying to figure out how to write it all down. And then 3 tablespoons of pine nuts, lightly toasted. So I did make a quick video for you, a time lapse, so we'll go to that of me toasting the pine nuts.
Okay.
All right, and so then you notice that with the pine nuts, we use the Tupperware frying pan, and then we also use the spatula. Did you notice how like there was no residue in my frying pan, and there was no oil? So I just toasted that, got them all nice and brown. So it just kind of brings out more flavor when you toast them versus when you don't. So I just poured that in there. By the way, I tend to pour by covering the little hole so it doesn't go inside. Just a little tip. And then we are going to need some Parmesan cheese, so a 1/4 cup of freshly grated Parmesan. Just pour that in there as well.
Basil.
But we probably need more basil, but just start throwing it in. I pretty much like to make it until it's the right color green. And then we're also going to add in a clove of garlic that I forgot. So you keep doing basil, Hannah. Let me go grab some garlic. This is one really big clove of garlic, but honestly, I typically do add 2 or 3 anyway because garlic is good. All right, so yeah, toss it in.
It's going everywhere.
Yeah, it does that. Switch it. And then we'll do a 1/4 cup of olive oil. So these are some really nice, they're the counterscapes. So I like to put my olive oil in here instead of having the big jar. And then you just push it and the little spout pops up. It's a no spill. We'll do a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Just be a little bit careful since the leaves are already in there.
Oh, my bad.
It's all right. All right, so we've got it all in. We'll just put the top on, and then here, why don't you put it on the table and I'll put it down so you can see you do it.
Yep.
Oop, let's put this out of the way. So you notice how she's holding it down so it doesn't go anywhere, and then she's just boom, boom. And then, oh, one thing I forgot to say, look at the bottom. See how it has this non-skid, so it won't go all over. Super easy. So let's just check and see how it looks. And we still have some leaves, but a lot of it is all smushed down. So let's just put that down in there a little more. This is real world, people. Doesn't always come out perfect the exact first time, but if I showed you it perfect, you wouldn't know what to do when it didn't, right? So just kind of get a little muscle and speed in there. And then look at that. Ooh, isn't that awesome? You think that's green enough? Mm-hmm. I think it's green enough. But I always like to do a little more. Because we're going to mix this all together. There we go. Love it. Okay, just waiting for the pasta to come out. So while the pasta and everything is cooking, we thought we'd let you know that we're also offering some Tupperware parties where you can have a Zoom party and also on Facebook Live and post the link to catalogs and stuff to all your friends and family. We come live and then we can actually do a recipe for you. So we could do this one, or we can also do any others. We can make a cake in less than 10 minutes in your microwave, or we could do a brunch party with eggs. Or what else do you think? We could do hamburgers or chicken in the MicroPro grill.
Like
so
sliders.
It's like they're barbecued. Ooh, sliders are a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of different recipes. We could do candies. We could do, what's your favorite, Hannah?
Buttery chocolate toffee square.
Buttery chocolate top. That is Hannah's favorite. I will tell you
It's
that.
crack.
She does not even like caramel, but that's her favorite.
And I don't really like nuts that
and
much.
she doesn't like nuts, and both of those are in there.
Mm-hmm.
So see, she's weird. It must come from me. Anyway, and then also if you are into thinking, gosh, maybe I could make extra money by doing videos like this because Hannah and Jill don't have the corner market on that, then Tupperware does also always offer some amazing specials for you as well if you want to sign up to sell Tupperware. Forgot to say the benefit for the hostesses. When you host a get-together, you get a bunch of Tupperware for free that you get to choose, and you also get to choose items or sets for half price. So like we talked about the Fridge Smart set, you could take that as a half price item, or free. You could take the whole smart multi-cooker at half price or free. So those are just some options. There's really good benefits, and if you're like me, that's how I got into Tupperware, is I wanted to get a whole bunch for free and half price, and so I had a party and then decided I needed more, so decided to make money as well. So
it's perfect for people like me, broke college students. And then you also get to fill your kitchen with really good dishes instead of the dishes that you buy at like Target or Walmart.
The stuff that you have to keep buying over and over because it goes bad, and that stuff really shouldn't be
or
in the microwave.
Or gets stained. Story time. I had a bowl, and I wanted to make SpaghettiOs, and it was a light pink bowl, and I poured those SpaghettiOs in there, and now there's like a red rim in that bowl forever. It's been there for like a year now.
And I know you're all asking, why did Jill's daughter have non-Tupperware in her kitchen?
My roommate bought it.
So I have no idea.
My roommate bought it. She actually came up to visit me when I hurt myself, and she brought me a whole bunch of Tupperware.
I did. I filled her kitchen with Tupperware. There was even a lot of it filled with food, because that's what moms do for their college students, right? Mm-hmm. So, all right. So this pasta should be ready in a minute. We'll come back to you. Okay, so just came out of the microwave. So we have the 3 sets. So Hannah, why don't you turn that so we can show them what it all looks like. So when we take this off, you kind of get a, do you notice how I opened it away from myself? You see all that steam? That would have given me quite the facial. So I do like to, so I have the cover here. I'm all about not dirtying a whole bunch of dishes. So broccoli looks amazing. And the chicken, I always like to kind of stir it around a little bit. And when you take something out of the microwave, it still does continue cooking for a little bit. So don't take it when it's completely done. There might be a smidge of pink, but as you stir it around, the pink does go away. So there is no pink. So I'm going to mix the broccoli with the chicken, because if you recall, I want to use this to drain my pasta, right? So now I'm going to take the chicken and the broccoli, put it on the cover, and then I'm going to go back to my pasta, kind of stir it around a little bit, make sure it's done, and it is al dente. Clumps together a little bit because it was in a tight space, but notice it just comes out nice. Okay, so Hannah, do you want to kind of mix the chicken and the broccoli a little bit? And I'm going to go just drain this in the sink. Okay, so pasta all drained. So now all of that can go in the pasta. Okay, perfect. Move that out of the way.
Let me just mix this.
Yeah. Okay, so you just want to toss your pesto. Use all of it because it is so yummy. So I will tell you, if you are even more pressed for time or you don't have fresh basil, you can buy the Costco basil pesto. Use this one, it already has basil in it, or pesto. And that's a good enough substitution. It's not as good as the fresh. It doesn't have that fabulous aroma, but it is yummy. What happened? Did you lose? That's all right. Real world, Hannah, real world. Is it getting all coated? Mm-hmm. And I'm a firm believer in you can't have too much cheese. So let's add some more. You know, I saw a big old piece of broccoli in there. Did anybody else see that?
Yeah.
These are the Tupperware scissors. These
this
are
guy.
fabulous. Let's just go through and chop him. You do the same thing with your chicken. These are amazing.
Yeah. Also on my blog, I will be posting all of these recipes there. I'll just have an ongoing thing. So you guys can go on there and steal them, and also check out the other post about health and how to create a healthy lifestyle for yourself.
I'm going to see your face, Hannah. All right. All right, people. So look at that. Dinner. And I promise you, this serves 4 with at least 1 lunch left over. Just throw a salad together with it. And if you want to, you could add bread, but you certainly don't have to. So, bon appetit.